Hey, welcome to Small Town Auto Repair. Behind me is my next big project. We're going to be giving this 2008 Sequoia a full paint job. Now, initially looking at it, it doesn't look too bad. But with this customer, they have lots of little problems with the car, which I'll show you. Got little things like chips on the hood, chips on the grill, little chips and scrapes on the bumper, few small rust spots across the car. Overall, it's not in too bad of shape, but they want this thing to look really nice. It's also still got the factory paint, which is a single stage white, and so putting a base coat clear coat over it will make this thing look really nice. So I'll show you guys the process of doing a complete paint job on this thing, and get to work with me start to finish on it and see what it looks like. We're also going to be doing some modifications, going to be putting some flares over the wheel wells, and it's going to have a really cool two-tone paint job when it's done. It's going to have a retro look. So follow along as I work on this. So to give a reference of why this customer wants a full paint job, on this fender here, you can see there's a pretty good shine to it. This has been repainted before, and so this has a nice clear coat over it. But the rest of the car from the factory is painted with single stage paint. And so, for instance, on this rear door, there is almost no reflection of that light. It is very dull, and the paint is at the end of its life. So what I've started doing is tearing down all the door handles, taking all the trim off the car, and as I get it all disassembled, then I'll start looking for any little imperfections that need fixed on it, any little chips, dents, dings, scratches, sanding those out, taking care of those, and sanding the whole car and prepping it to paint it. With that, concludes the first segment of tearing down this Sequoia. We got the back end of the car completely tore down and separated. We got all the way down the passenger side all tore apart, except for the rocker step. We're going to be leaving that on there until we get it down to paint it. But one more half of the car to go, and after that, start prep work. Fix any dents and dings it might find, fill any chips, sand out scratches, and then prep and sand the whole car. And now we have the car flipped around. We're going to start on the driver's side and tear it all apart too. What we have left to do for the teardown is take apart the front end, bumper, grille, headlights, filler panel, take off all the trim off the driver's side, and then this thing will be ready to prep. One thing I like to emphasize when I'm working on cars is organization, especially when you're working on a complete paint job like this. You're tearing down a lot of parts of the car. It's important to stay organized. What I personally like to use are these organizer bins. Milwaukee makes some nice ones that have a deep body to them, so you can fit quite a bit in them. I like to mark everything, like grille, headlight, doors, bumper, liftgate, things like that, and then organize all my nuts, bolts, clips, small pieces all into this bin. And that way, if I forget later on, I know where everything is, what goes to where. I'm not looking at a handful of screws or bolts and wondering, where did this go? But stuff like this just makes the job a little bit easier, a little bit cleaner, a little bit more organized, and helps down the road too. But we're getting close to tore down. The whole front end is all tore apart. Just have a few more things to tear apart on the car and it's ready to prep. And with that, got the whole car tore down. We're ready to start moving on to prepping and looking for any little imperfections. I see a few little things. There's a couple little door dings in this door here. Got a few scrapes. One of the big things the customer is worried about is some of these rust spots. You can see there's some spots where maybe the paint got chipped at some point and started developing rust, especially on the front end of the car. Little rust spots here and there. And the car is getting close to 20 years old, so living on the coast, you can expect that the rust spots will start to form. But the next step will be moving on to prepping, looking for those little dents, dings, scratches, whatever that needs repaired, and repairing those things, and we'll move on to the next step.